What's up, guys? I just wanted to show you my custom Deforum notebook. I want to start off by saying all credits to Deforum and the team behind it. Amazing program. Very thankful for all of the work that they do. I just wanted to add some of my own twists and quote-unquote conveniences to this program that they've created. So we're just getting started by executing the first cell, setting up the environment. As you can see, I'm running on a Tesla T4. I'll just be going over all the features and benefits that you get from using my notebook. I'm in no way promoting my notebook. I just wanted to share all of the work that I put into it and getting it to work. So after setting up the environment, I wanted to display the model merger feature of this notebook first. Once again, all credits to Automatic 1111. I took their code straight out of their GitHub, copied and pasted it into the Colab, and modified all of the necessary variables and other stuff to get it running in the Deforum notebook. Now, first I'm mounting the notebook to my Google Drive. The only dependency you need to run the model merger is you don't even need to run the environment setup tab. You can literally run it straight out of straight from mounting your Google Drive. All you need to do is plug in the values. So you need your checkpoint directory, like the directory with all your checkpoints or where you want it to be saved. You need the full path to your primary model, the secondary model, the third model. You need your output name. You just put, you can use the name only, and you need your config source. This is basically the path to the config. You got to make sure that if it's a 1.5 checkpoint, you use a 1.5 config, and if it's a 2.0 checkpoint, you use the version 2, and 2.1 you use the V Inference. So I'm just listing all of for easier access. I just listed all of the checkpoints in the directory, so I can see which ones I'm going to fuse. And it basically works like Automatic 1111. It's just, like I said, it's just running in a Colab notebook. It's their code. I don't take any credit for this code. Like I said, I just wanted to display the feature, the ability to be able to use it in Colab, especially because I'm a quote-unquote tinkerer. I like to tinker in the notebooks and get code to work. That's kind of my hobby. And right off the bat, I made a mistake here in the tertiary model name. I didn't put the full path, so just make sure you put the full path to your model names. The map location should always be CUDA. You should always be using your GPU. The interpolation method, like I said, it's like Automatic 1111. It's either weighted sum or added difference. I believe for this merging right here, we're going to do a added difference, and then later in the video we do a weighted sum merge, and then you just set the multiplier. You can also use the option to save as half, but I never do that. I want all of the abilities that saving the checkpoint as full or FP32 has to offer. So as far as I remember, it's better quality if you don't save it as half. So you can there's also the option to use checkpoint type, so it can either save it as a checkpoint or a safe tensor. And the bake-in VAE, you just paste in the VAE checkpoint file path, and then it'll merge. So see, like I said, from here I already made a mistake for the tertiary model. I just had to plug in the right one. As you can tell, this is like a previous recording. The video was a previous recording. I'm just doing a voiceover. So later on, I also didn't put the correct config path. So you're going to see everything run through, and then the video is going to pause. So as you can see, it's loading the weights of the models so that it can merge them. And then once that's done, you're gonna see the completed message. So for convenience here, I just sped up the videos to kind of run right through it, but you'll see the elapsed time at the very bottom of the screen. It took a grand total like under 5 minutes on a T4, so that's quite impressive. But you always have to make sure that you restart the runtime so that you can offload the GPU and make sure you can do more processes after. But again, this is to display that the feature works. This one, getting this to work wasn't as difficult as getting the textual inversion to work, but I'm just so proud of the ability. And see, like I said, the config path was wrong, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. And now everything should run well. And we'll go ahead and fast forward through all of that again. So here is the completed message, or the completed output. You see where it's saved. Now I'm going to copy the path to the merge checkpoint and do some inference. We're going to see if it works, test it out. And here you're going to see the feature in my custom Deforum notebook of choosing a model path. I mean, this in no way is any special code, or at least, you know, it probably is. But anyway, I've added the option to accept user input for selecting the model path if it's a custom checkpoint. So you can also use the drop-down menus, and that will work. But again, this is to like display the special features that I've built into my notebook. So see, all you have to do is enter the number of the checkpoint or the config you want to use, and then enter the number of the checkpoint you want to use. And then from there, you'll see that it loads. Right there. You'll see that it loads, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and run the rest of the cells. And at the end of this, I want to display the actual video that this merge checkpoint created. So we're just fast forwarding through while everything's getting set up, while the model's loading. And I just scroll down to show my settings. Those are kind of like my standard settings. Produce really nice results and really original results. And once we get this done, I run into an error because I modified this textual inversion cell. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip through this also, because a future feature I want to have enabled in the notebook is getting the automatic 11's feature of using version 1.4 and kind of enabling that model to work also with textual inversion. And so you see me scrolling up and down. I'm looking for the errors and trying to fix it. But in the end, I just decided to kind of comment out the cell and go from there. I ended up getting the cell to run, and we'll go ahead and fast forward to that point. So as you can see here, once again, I'm going to comment out the cells, and the code's going to run perfectly fine. So we're going to do that soon. And at this point, I just decided to cut the video and get it to run, and now it's working. So you can see the loaded the successfully loaded inversion embeddings, textual inversion embeddings, and so I merged the 2.0 models, so the 1.5 textual inversion didn't load, so you can see everything working. So now I'm just putting in the prompts, and then we're gonna get this animation running. So here I think I'm looking for, I'm looking for the trigger word for the sci-fi checkpoint, so I can put it in and display that it also works. So yeah, I plugged it in. Like I said, setting up the prompts, making sure that all the keywords for the models and the textual inversion is in there, so that I can display that not only the model checkpoint merger worked, but also the textual inversion loading worked. As far as I know, I haven't seen any textual inversion versions of Deforum out there. I mean, that's part of why I got it. I wanted to get it working so bad, was because it wasn't a feature available yet. So I think that getting textual inversion to work in Deforum was super important to me, because I mean, it's part of the AI artists repertoire or tools that they can use, similar to how like painters and people who draw, spray painters, see them, like the more spray paint cans they have, the more brushes, the more oils they have, the more they can produce. And I think that that textual inversion and the ability to merge models is equally as important. And so that's why I wanted to get it working. And it also eliminates the need to kind of, especially if you depend on Google Colab like me, you don't have to set up the Google Colab to run in automatic 11.11 all the time. And shout out to the last Ben for all of his tools and creating all of those things for automatic 11.11. That is amazing in itself. So we're finally up and running. You can see that the animation is generating. It's a T4, so bear with it, please. It's trying its best, guys. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and speed through this rendering process, because you can see it took like 3 minutes to generate the first frame. But once it generates the first frame, you can see how absolutely amazing the first frame, or first 4 frames, came out to be. So at this point in the video, I had rendered 240 frames, and so I'm going to render the video at 30 frames a second. It's going to come out to about 8 seconds of animation. But again, the point is just to show that it worked, and that everything was running fine, and that the notebook was functional. So here you see that the video finished rendering, and you're getting a sneak peek of what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and upscale it. See, there's the floral marble textural inversion, there's the sonic diffusion, checkpoint, and I'm gonna go ahead and upscale this video, and that'll be available at the end of the display. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm just listing whatever files are in the directory so I can get the name of the MP4 file so that I can upscale it. And this is to show the ability to upscale a video. So not sure if too many people know, but Real ESRGAN does have a video upscaler. So, you know, no need to use Topaz video enhancer. I mean, don't get me wrong, a Topaz video enhancer is the real deal. It's that business, but honestly, the convenience and the ease of using Real ESRGAN through Colab it works for me. You know, whatever, everyone's in their own journey, everyone has their preferences. This is just an option and something I'm proud of doing. So again, it's just a visual display. So all you have to do is specify the model name, it's a drop-down menu, the input video. You got to make sure you put the full path of it. And oh, sorry, I scrolled up way too fast. But oh, what am I getting? Oh, I already made it there. So originally I wanted to do the video at 12 frames per second to make it a little bit longer for more visual time, but yeah, we kept it at 30, so that's why it's only 8 seconds of video. But yeah, the output video directory, you just specify a folder path, not like a output name. So that's how that works, and you can see that it's working. And one of my favorite features of using Real ESRGAN is that it has a denoising option, and that's super important for at least my workflow, my style of creating art, because some of my images come out noisy, and you know, that's because the latent diffusing kind of feeds off of that. So the more noise there is, the more noise input, the better it comes out, or the more detail comes out. And I'm super all about that detail. And so you can see that it's running. I also got a custom TQDM progress bar up there, color green. I like to change out the colors. I just like customizing everything. As I said, I'm a tinkerer. So oh, the GPU ID, honestly, that's one of the parameters, but as far as I know, GPU 0 means that you're using the first GPU. And so I guess if you're like awesome like that and you have more GPUs, then you can specify which one to use. So that's why that's there. But yeah, you can see that this thing is going along really fast, 244 frames, and it's only going to take about a minute to, no, like more than 2 minutes. But that's crazy on a T4. And something I just realized actually was on an A100, it's not that much faster. So I think that the inference of Real ESRGAN is just super lightweight. And oh, it's also the model, like depending on which model you choose for Real ESRGAN, that's what can either increase or decrease your rendering time. So the model I'm using is the latest model off of their GitHub, and it's super lightweight. It's a really small, lightweight model that also has the denoising ability. So we're coming to the end of this, and it should be ready to go. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to interpolate it, and basically all that means is we're going to increase its frame rate, and Rife is the absolute way to go. I'd actually created a Rife versus TensorFlow, Google Film frame interpolation for large motion, kind of like a head-to-head performance battle to see which one performed better. But honestly, Rife works because the output that it produces, at least for my videos and my workflow, the output it produces is, in my opinion, like the best quality, and it also takes like literally a quarter of the time, because Google Film, for the longest time I was using it, like even for all of my disco diffusion videos, if you check my channel, I used Film for to interpolate those, but those I've come to realize that it takes like 4 times longer when I'm using TensorFlow, or Google Film, as opposed to using Rife. And so now that I figured out how to use Rife and how to implement it into my workflow, I haven't gone back. And so I think so I'm going to edit this notebook so that all of the dependencies install in the environment setup tab and at the very top. So you really should, all you have to do is hit the environment setup button, and you can kind of run in between all of the programs in there, such as Deforum, the model merger, Rife, and Real ESR GAN. And so the parameters for Rife are pretty straightforward. You literally put in your input video, in your output video. You want to specify the file name also, so you can see right there. You can just copy that, or and then you specify the frames per second. Now, something important you have to pay attention to is the target length, because you need to calculate the frames per second and the amount of frames you have so that you can get the correct target length. So let's say you have a 30-second video and you want to do you have a 30-second video and you did it at 30 frames per second. So you want to have like a 30 times 30 is 900. Yeah. So you want to have a target length Rife at 15 seconds for a 30-second video at 30 frames per second. So that's a total of 900 frames, and that'll be a 15-second video. But of course, like I said, you can specify whatever frames per second you want up there. But if you rendered the first video at 30 frames per second, then you do your calculations based off of that. And you can see that this actually took so much faster. Gosh, it was literally like 13 seconds to interpolate this to 60 frames per second. And that's crazy, because like I said, on an A100, the speed isn't even different. So I'm just finding this out now too, and that's pretty cool. Now this video is gonna error out, or you're like not error out. It's gonna like produce this weird invalid PTS. As far as I know, it doesn't affect the video or the video quality. I need to look deeper into why that happens, but see, as you can see, the dimensions and the frames per second. So yeah, it works. I really hope everyone can, or people can find this useful. Now we're just going to jump into merging a 1.5 model to show that works. I have ProtoGen Nova in my directory, so I'm going to go ahead and specify that, and then I'm going to merge it with my custom. So I merged the deliberate checkpoint and the dream shaper checkpoint. So that's going to be my secondary model. I'm going to merge those two together, but as a third tertiary model, I'm going to use dreamlike diffusion just to get extra crispy outputs and results. So for this checkpoint, I believe I'm not going to produce a animation. I'm just going to show the image output. It's just going to be one image. And so just running through the parameters again. Again, make sure you just specify your checkpoint directory, the 3 models. You want to name what you want to name your model. Make sure you have a 1.5 config if it's a 1.5 model, or else it'll error out. Or if it doesn't error out, it'll produce an incorrect YAML file, which you can't use to set up your model. So yeah, just make sure you go through the motions. And oh, there, I did it again. I didn't specify it correctly. So we're going to use a weighted sum merging this time, And what am I doing here? Oh yeah, to restart the runtime, to like I said, gotta offload it. But like I said, once you set up the environment, once you restart the runtime, you don't have to run anything else. You can actually literally just run the cell itself, because it's just a bunch of calculations. So we're gonna fast forward through this and show you that it works. So we're speeding through this, showing you that the model merging works, and you can see that it works because it'll complete correctly. And we're gonna go ahead and jump right on into getting it loaded and using the newly merged model. This is so fun, guys, I'm telling you. So after we got everything set up, or after all of the models merged correctly, you can see that everything finished. I'm gonna copy the checkpoint path again and restart the runtime, and we're gonna set up the cells. And what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna go and get the keywords for triggering the merged checkpoints. And yeah, so you're gonna see me, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here, uncheck it, so you get the Dream Shaper model. And go ahead and copy and paste the prompt that they use here, because I like that the colors that came out here. But I'm not trying to generate a picture of a person. I like landscapes and cityscapes, so I'm gonna go ahead and figure out or paste that into our prompts and see what it produces. Again, this is a pre-recording, so I just wanted to give an update. I did update this notebook. I actually loaded in the ability to load hypernetworks, but right now it doesn't work, so I'll post an update for that. But I also added a prompt, a very small and simple prompt generator that I'll display after all of these, after I display and run through these settings. So you can see I'm just making sure again that the prompt is triggering the textual inversion and checkpoints that are loaded. So that's what's happening here. You see that this came out quite undesirable. I had actually checked prompt weighting, and prompt weighting doesn't work well with, I believe it's 2.1. So now we're gonna generate the new image without the prompt weighting, and here it is. Super stoked at how this came out. Amazing checkpoint, amazing prompt. Major props to the person who created the prompt and all of the creators of the checkpoints that I merged. Super dope. I mean, just look at how high quality and detailed this image is. Like, it's really amazing what this stuff can do. And with all that said, as promised, here's the video. So if y'all stayed to the end, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for watching. Really just let me know what you think, and let me know what features might be cool to add. I really like tinkering and adding some fun stuff into the notebooks, and I think that what I've done is pretty fun so far. But then again, like I said, this isn't promoting. I'm not trying to promote this notebook in any way. I just wanted to share basically what I've created and kind of the benefits and features of using it. It's pretty fun, pretty dope. But of course, you know, the original Deforum is light years ahead. It's, you know, the work that they do is amazing. So again, just let me know what you think. Let me know what I can improve, what I can add, maybe take out. And as promised, again, if you stayed this long, I'll show you the super simple but cool prompt generator, or I should say keyword generator, that I added right above the prompt. So here it is. And with this all-in-one update on my notebook, I just added a batch option to batch upscale and batch interpolate. So what I'm recording now is showing you that it's upscaling multiple videos all in the same cell. All you have to do is specify the directory and the other arguments, and you can see that the batch upscaler completed and that this batch interpolator is successfully running. Now I just want to say, I want to make a disclaimer that I realize now that I'm on a T4, but I'm on the Colab Pro Plus T4, so I have high RAM enabled. I don't know that this will be able to run on a free T4 because it doesn't have the high RAM option. So you can see that I'm showing that all 3 videos that I was upscaling completely upscaled, and I will display that all 3 upscaled videos are now interpolated. And man, this is so dope. I actually just created this and it's so cool. Link is in the description. Thanks again for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next one. Have fun. And one last thing, you have to make sure that the folder that you're specifying has only the videos that you want upscaled, or else it'll upscale all of the videos in your folder, or all of the files in your folder, or it'll error out. Anyway, thanks again. Take care.